Alright, YouTube, Sam Hatch, Culturedog, back with another Laserdisc Spotlight review. And this is something I would say I was wanting to get for a long time, but I didn't know this existed on this format until very, very recently. I had seen, of course, the DVD that was marketed in, 1998 this originally came out. But it is Metallica, Cunning Stunts, and this is a nice gatefold double disc, and came out in, yeah, the late 90s, so it's not a super late release, but it's, you know, late enough that it did not receive an American counterpart. You could only get it released in Japan, and I was not a fan of the load era of Metallica. I know not many people are, so you're going to be like, wow, that's a big surprise, Sam. I know. So I didn't rush right out and buy the DVD set of this because I'm like, well, I don't really like what they're, you know, going after at that time. But a friend of mine actually went to go see him live, and he hated, you know, Load and Reload even more than I did, and said that, oh, the show was great. You know, he saw him live and said, yeah, they're still, you know, on fire. So I figured I'd pick this up, and it really doesn't have that many tunes from the Load and Reload era, and then again, the tunes they play are actually some of the better ones, so it was worth picking up. Recorded live in May 9th through 10th in 1997. So yeah, it's got So What, Creeping Death, Sad But True, Ain't My Bitch, Hero of the Day, King Nothing, One, Fuel, which was an early kind of tease at Reload. Apparently Reload hadn't even been released at the time of this concert recording. Nothing Else Matters, Until It Sleeps, From the Bell Tolls, Wherever I May Roam, Fade to Black. There was like a Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning medley with Ride the Lightning, No Remorse, Hit the Lights, Four Horsemen, Seek and Destroy, Fight Fire with Fire. And then at the end they do, you know, a lot of the old classics, Last Caress, Master of Puppets, Enter Sandman, Am I Evil, and Motor Breath. And if you've seen the film, the IMAX film, Through the Never, they actually recreate some of the shenanigans that go on in this. It's very open. The stage is, you know, free for everyone to roam around, just flat and open. And it does have the situation. The Metallica was really into staging accidents, which is, you know, pretty strange considering they've had real accidents, like James Hetfield lighting on fire during a show in Canada. But they would stage these incidents during the Injustice for All tour. They had scaffolding fall down, and the Lady Justice statue that was on the stage would fall apart. And this time, they stage a bunch of accidents, and then eventually a guy lights on fire and runs across the stage, that kind of stuff, and they lose all the power. And it gives them a reason to come out and do a like kind of garage jam segment towards the end, which, you know, they play some of the older tunes, which is actually pretty clever. And they, you know, it's actually lit by, you know, garage light bulbs. There's just regular light bulbs, 4 of them hanging, but, you know, they're hanging from like cords that must be going up 2 stories, and like each band member has their own light bulb. It was pretty cute, clever stuff. So definitely worth picking up. Let's check out the packaging a little bit. Yep. Cunning Stunts, little wordplay. If you swap around some of the original words there, letters, you'll get something a little naughtier. It does have the Obi strip, which is handy for resale value, and then we're going to hold on to it. But yeah, Sony Records put this thing out, and I have no idea what most of that writing says. Interesting color bars on the back. Makes it look like it's an old 1980s video game or something like that. Simple packaging, mostly black and white. On the inside, there's really not much going on except the Obi strip, basically. Telling you about what other Metallica products you can go out and purchase. But yeah, recorded live in Texas. Wayne Isham directed. He was directing a ton of Metallica stuff around that time, and he does favor a lot of frequent cuts. I remember his San Diego show from the Binge and Purge collection was a little bit too much for me. With like most Japanese releases, it comes with a cool insert booklet and giving you the lyrics to the tunes as best interpreted by, you know, multilingual Japanese copywriters. I think these are pretty accurate. Sometimes on these you get like, you know, question marks when they hit a wall and they can't quite figure out what someone is singing. But I always appreciate that. It's pretty cool. It goes above and beyond a little bit more than you get when the U.S. domestic pressing. You get the lyrics in English and in Japanese. And yeah, a little bit of information at the end about the band and all that kind of stuff. And you can see what tunes Dave Mustaine wrote. The sound is pretty heavy duty. The only problem I noticed, I'm going to have to actually give it a spin and listen to it under headphones, but I did notice there was some sort of almost like high-pitch whine or frequency going on. And I wasn't sure if it was a pressing error, and obviously you can't get these things for much under $80, so I'm not going to go collecting a few more to compare and contrast. But yeah, there was like a little bit of a high-pitched whine, and I heard it both on my 27-inch old Magnavox TV, but I definitely heard it when I fired it up on my system, on my projector downstairs. And so it was a little distracting. Otherwise, there's a lot of punch to it, and it's really heavy. Framing-wise, this is, shot in the days before everything was in HD, so it's just, 1.33 to 1 or 4 to 3, like your old television sets. And sometimes films like live concerts like Pink Floyd's Pulse lend themselves rather well. They've got a lot of headroom. If you zoom in on the image on a 16:9 widescreen TV, they'll look okay. This, however, I don't know, it was cutting off too much information. I did try to see what it would look like if you zoomed in. So it definitely looks better if you watch it old school, 4 to 3, and if you have a modern widescreen television set, use the black bars or the gray bars on the side of the image and watch it like that. And, good image quality, though. I mean, solid stuff, since, it was, late 90s and shot well. So, a bit of an obscurity. I mean, obviously you can find the DVDs quite often on the open market, but on Laserdisc, it's worth hunting down just for the kind of boutique collectability of it all. So, hope you enjoyed checking out Cunning Stunts by Metallica with me, and we'll be back with another video. I think I'm going to do another Metallica Laserdisc just for you. So, thanks for hanging out.